Hi, folks, and welcome back to the Potspoon Kitchen. Today, we are going to be making two amazing Caribbean bakes breakfasts that is perfect for the weekend. So, we are going to start off by making cornmeal floats and cornmeal fried bakes. And as I go along, I will explain to you the difference between the bakes and the floats and how to get the floats every single time. We are going to be serving this up with some corned beef and fresh salad. Next up, we are going to be making some coconut bakes with smoked herring, avocados, and fried plantains. To start off, we are going to be making the smoked herring and the coconut bakes first. I have some smoked herring fillets here, and I'm just going to add this to hot water to boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. So we have one coconut that I burst. I removed the shell, and I also remove some of the skin on the back of the coconut. So let's blend this with some water, and we have our coconut that is ready to pour into our dry mixture. Speaking about the dry mixture, let's go ahead and add 4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, and this is going to be our dry ingredients. And what I like to do whenever I'm using the coconut, I like to add the butter to the coconut. So I'm adding quarter cup of melted butter. And yes, I already know that coconut already has its own oil and its own grease, but the butter just makes it much better. I am going in the flour with my hands and break up all the ingredients. And now I'm going to pour the wet ingredients in. No need to add more water because the water was already in the coconut. And I'm going to mix this until it comes together. Very nice, very soft. And the more you knead it, the softer your bakes will be because the gluten is going to get a chance to form. Once it becomes a ball just like this, you want to cover it over and allow it to rest for about an hour. The smokering is done and I've added it to some cold water. To get the salt out, what I normally do is just to break it up in the water so that the salt get a chance to come out in the water and I could taste it and know when to stop. Once I taste it and it has enough salt for me, I like to strain it off. Squeeze out all the water and our smoke herring is ready. You want to rinse down your sink because smoke herring has that name choir girl because the smell is so loud. So I wash my sink down and then I head over to my vegetables to begin cooking my smoke herring. So I have tomatoes, green peppers, yellow peppers, red bell peppers. I have some garlic, I have some onions, and I have some pimento seasoning peppers. To the pot, I am going to add quarter cup of oil. This is olive oil. I prefer using a healthier option. You can use any kind of oil that you like. And we're going to saute our vegetables once it comes hot. So I'm adding the onions, the garlic, the pimento peppers, and I will leave this to fry up for about 2 minutes and let the aromas begin to burst in the kitchen and overpower that smoke herring smell that I have in here. Once it's nicely sauteed and the onions begin to get a little crisp, then I go in with my bell peppers, orange, green, and red. I will saute this for just a little bit more because I like the bell peppers to be a bit al dente. It still has a little crunch and some sweetness to it. I don't like it soggy. And this would take about 3 minutes. And I'm going to add the smoke herring. Now to add ketchup is absolutely optional, but I do like a little sweetness when I'm making my smokering. I'm gonna add some white pepper or you can add black pepper. And if you don't have enough salt or you squeezed out all the salt from the smokering, you wanna just add a pinch of salt to balance it out. But I have enough salt in my smokering. We're gonna add a little bit more oil because it's a bit dry as we're eating coconut bakes. And now we're gonna add some tomatoes to this. What I like to do is just to fold in the tomatoes, not to make it soggy or the juices to run out of the tomatoes. And this is done. So let's roll out our coconut bakes. For me, it's important to keep the shape. So I like to give it a nice square shape before I roll it out. And then I'm going to roll this out until it's about an inch to an inch and a half in thickness. Flip this over on your hand and put it on a baking sheet. At this point, I just like to run a fork through it, and I will bake this until it's nice and golden brown, which should take about 20 to 25 minutes. While the bake is in the oven, let's make some fried plantains. I am using two plantains that are ripe, but they are not as ripe as I would like them because I like my plantains to be a bit fudgy. You know that fudginess you get when you fry the really, really ripe plantains with the freckles on it? That's exactly what I like. I like it when it turns a little bit brown. But I don't have that, so I will make the best use of whatever I have. And our plantains are done. The bake is done, and I like to go in with a little bit of salted butter and just brush the top. There's no better thing than bake and butter. So before I eat this with my smoke herring, I'm definitely gonna get a bite of hot bakes and melted butter. Even a piece of cheese is gonna work absolutely fine. So here we have it. Our bakes are done, nicely sliced and very, very soft, and they are ready to be enjoyed. Overall, we have our overall presentation, some creamy avocados, some fried plantains, some smoked herring, and we can't forget our delicious soft coconut bake. Next up, we are going to be making our cornmeal fry bakes, cornmeal floats, and our corned beef with some fresh salad. In this bowl, I have 4 cups of all-purpose flour, and to this, I am adding a third of a cup of cornmeal. You can use a finely ground cornmeal or you can use a coarse cornmeal. To this, I am adding quarter teaspoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half cup of margarine butter, 2 tablespoons of sugar, half teaspoon of salt, and I'm using a cup and a half of warm water. To begin, we're going to break up our butter until it becomes a mealy consistency and sort of matches the cornmeal in the flour. Once this is nicely broken up like this, then we're going to add our wet ingredients. So we're going to add our water, and you want to mix this really good to get the gluten to form to pair with the cornmeal. And that's how you get a really nice soft fry bakes. The more you mix it by hand, the better it's going to come out. We are going to follow suit just the way we did the coconut bake. You want to mix this until the bowl is nice and clean, and you want to mix it into a nice ball. The more you mix it, the more gluten is formed and the more juicier and soft your bakes is going to be. When it comes to kneading a dough with your hand, you really can't overmix anything. So the more you mix it, it's better, and you mix it until the bowl is nice and clean. Cover it over with a plastic wrap, and you want to leave it on the countertop or wherever in a nice warm place for about 1 hour, just for the gluten to relax and for the yeast to be activated. So next up, I'm going to be using 1 white onion. I prefer to dice my onions, and some people prefer to slice them, but no way is wrong. You can dice them, you can slice them, you could do them however you like. And while I dice these onion, you can take a moment to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know what you think about the first recipe. Let me know what you thought about the coconut bake and the smoke herring. Also, you can let me know below where you are watching from, because I know I have some subscribers from some places that I've actually never heard of. So let me know below where you are watching from. I'm going in with 2 sprigs of green onions. Next up, we're using some red sweet peppers. You can use any color sweet pepper that you have on hand. It could be red, it could be green, it could be yellow. Whatever color sweet pepper you want to add it in. If you don't like to eat sweet pepper, it's totally fine to just omit it entirely. Whenever I'm cutting my vegetables, especially if I'm making corned beef, I just like to dice everything up completely. The yellow sweet pepper is next. Set this aside. Let's rough chop some celery. And this is for color, flavor, and some texture. I'm pressing 8 garlic because I love a lot of garlic in corned beef. You want to rough chop this, and we are ready to go. Let's head over to the pan, and I'm adding 2/3 cup of cooking oil to this. And we're going to begin by sauteing our garlic, onions, and we're going to mix this up just until the onions and the garlic begin to get a slight brownish color. You want to add the rest of the ingredients now. You're going to add the peppers. Add the bell peppers and saute this for about 3 minutes to 4 minutes until they are still al dente. And let's go in with 2 cans of corned beef. I have a reasonably big family, so that's why I'm doing 2 cans of corned beef. You don't have to use 2 tins of corned beef. You can use 1 and just split the recipe in half. And the entire recipe will be down in the description box waiting for you. Mix it in, break down the corned beef just a little bit. Make sure you get all the vegetables incorporated in there. And we're going to season this up. We're adding 1 tablespoon of lime juice, 1 tablespoon of pepper sauce, 1 tablespoon of shano beni, ground shano beni. We're going to add the green onions and the parsley in it. Our bakes have rested, and we're going to go ahead and begin to fry them. It's nice and fluff and very, very soft, and it's not sticking to your hands. So now we're going to create our fry bake balls. I'm not making the fry bakes too big, and neither am I making them too small, and this size is enough. So we're going to go ahead and fry our floats and our fry bake, and as I do that, I will explain to you how to get floats every time and how to get fry bakes every time. Now, I will explain the difference in getting the two. Let's add some oil to the frying pan. So you're going to roll out your bakes evenly. And I'm going to add it once the oil is hot. Whenever you're making flours, you want to make sure that you have enough oil. You want to scoop the oil on the bakes and it's going to create some air pockets just like this, and the dough will begin to split in two. It's nice and golden brown just the way I like it, and if you want it a little bit darker, you can definitely go ahead and do that. I'm frying them for about 4 minutes on each side. And let me do 2 more. Making floats again. If you shallow fry your bakes, high chances are you're just gonna get bakes. I know many different countries call this different things. I don't know if Johnny cake and fry bakes are the same thing. But let me know what you call these in your country. Are they fry bakes? Are they Johnny cakes? I know in Jamaica they call them fried dumplings, but they're a bit thicker. So here you have it. Our delicious breakfast is ready. Give this video a thumbs up, a subscribe, and once again let me know in the comment section, what do you call these in your country?